What if I told you there was once a time when people actually said someone might be as good as Michael Jordan? Sounds crazy, right? But back in 1992, that's exactly what happened. The NBA world started buzzing about a new rivalry: Michael Jordan versus Clyde, the Glide, Drexler. Now think about it. Jordan was already the face of basketball, a champion, an MVP, a global superstar. But Clyde Drexler? He was no joke either. He could fly, he could score, and he had his team, the Portland Trail Blazers, winning big out west. So the media did what the media always does. They built the hype. They said, this is the guy who can challenge Jordan. But here's the thing. Drexler never said he was Jordan's equal. He was just playing his game. Still, once those comparisons hit the headlines, it was over. Because if there's one thing you don't do, it's tell Michael Jordan that someone might be on his level. MJ took it personally. And whenever Jordan took things personally, someone was about to get destroyed. So today, we're diving into that legendary story, the so-called rivalry that never truly existed, and how Jordan turned it into one of the most dominant finals performances in NBA history. Before we start, if you love basketball stories, GOAT debates, and classic NBA moments, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to GOAT Report, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Now, let's get into it. The Buildup, 2 stars on a collision course. Let's take it back to the 1991-92 NBA season, a time when Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls were on top of the world. The Bulls dominated that year, finishing with an incredible 67 wins, the best record in the entire league. Jordan was at his peak, winning his 3rd MVP award and averaging more than 30 points per game. Every night, he reminded everyone that he was the best player on the planet. But out west, there was another star shining, Clyde the Glide Drexler. He led the Portland Trail Blazers to 57 wins and finished second in MVP voting, right behind Jordan. Drexler was fast, athletic, and smooth, the kind of player who could do everything. Naturally, the media couldn't resist comparing the two. Headlines popped up saying things like, Drexler could be Jordan's equal, or the Blazers have more depth than the Bulls. That talk didn't sit well with MJ. He took it personally. To him, this finals wasn't just about winning another ring, it was about sending a message. He didn't just want to beat the Blazers. He wanted to crush any idea that Clyde Drexler, or anyone else, could stand next to him as an equal. Game 1. The message. Game 1 of the 1992 NBA Finals. Chicago Bulls versus Portland Trail Blazers. The energy inside Chicago Stadium was off the charts. The crowd was roaring, cameras flashing, and everyone knew this was going to be huge. The media had hyped it up for weeks. Michael Jordan versus Clyde Drexler, the 2 best shooting guards in the game. But when Jordan walked onto that court, you could see something different in his face. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't relaxed. He looked angry, like a man on a mission. From the opening tip, Jordan came out blazing. Every time Drexler tried to guard him, MJ attacked. Pull-up jumpers, smooth drives, and deep three-pointers. Everything went in. You could tell this wasn't just about winning. It was personal. Jordan was sending a message with every shot. Stop comparing me to anyone. By halftime, the scoreboard told the whole story. Jordan had 35 points. Drexler had 8. The so-called rivalry didn't look like much of one anymore. Then came one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. Jordan hit his 6th three-pointer of the half, turned to the announcer's table and shrugged. No words, just that little shrug. It said, "Even I can't believe this." The Bulls crushed the Blazers that night, and any talk of Drexler being Jordan's equal disappeared fast. Game 1 wasn't just a win. It was a statement. Jordan reminded everyone that night that there's greatness. And then there's Michael Jordan. Games 2 to 4, the fight back. To be fair, the Portland Trail Blazers didn't just roll over. In Game 2, they came out fighting. Even though Clyde Drexler fouled out late in the 4th quarter, his teammates refused to quit. They played tough, hustled for every loose ball, and somehow pushed the game into overtime. Against all odds, they pulled off a shocking win right in Chicago, the Bulls' home court. Suddenly, the series was tied 1-1, and people started to ask, wait a minute, can Portland actually beat the Bulls? But in Game 3, the Bulls had an answer, a loud one. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen came out locked in and destroyed the Blazers from start to finish. They were faster, sharper, and more aggressive. Chicago made it clear that they weren't about to let the series slip away. Still, Portland didn't back down. Game 4 turned into another tough battle. Jordan struggled to find his rhythm that night. His shots weren't falling, and Drexler finally showed why people compared him to MJ in the first place. Clyde played with confidence, hit clutch shots, grabbed key rebounds, and even stole the ball from Jordan late in the game. The Blazers fought hard and tied the series 2-2. At that point, it looked like we might have a real series on our hands. But here's the thing. Michael Jordan wasn't built to stay down for long. When he loses, he doesn't get sad. He gets angry. And when MJ gets angry, you already know. Someone's about to pay the price. Game 5. Jordan turns into a monster. Game 5 was the turning point. The moment everything changed in the 1992 NBA Finals. The series was tied 2-2. The tension in Portland was through the roof, and everyone knew this game could swing the championship. But from the moment Michael Jordan stepped onto the court, you could see it in his eyes. He wasn't there to just play. He was there to make a statement. Focused, intense, and determined. Every movement, every dribble, every shot looked purposeful. You could feel that this was personal. From the tip-off, Jordan attacked relentlessly. Drives to the basket, pull-up jumpers, fadeaways, nothing could slow him down. Clyde Drexler tried to match him, but every time he scored, Jordan responded immediately, louder and sharper. It was like watching someone in complete control of a game that was already his. The Bulls played with rhythm, energy, and precision. But it was Jordan's night. By the end of the game, he had dropped 46 points, completely silencing the Portland crowd. It wasn't just a win, it was a message. This wasn't a rivalry anymore. It was a one-sided masterclass. Jordan wasn't only beating Drexler on the scoreboard, he was erasing any doubt that anyone could ever match him. That night, the world witnessed greatness in its purest form, and everyone watching knew the truth. Michael Jordan wasn't just a star, he was untouchable. Game 6, the final blow. Game 6 was the final punch. The moment Michael Jordan ended all the talk. The Blazers came out strong and actually led heading into the fourth quarter. Their fans were loud, hoping for a Game 7. But then, Jordan happened. It was like someone flipped a switch. Suddenly, he was everywhere. Hitting jumpers, driving to the rim, locking up on defense. Every time the Blazers thought they had a chance, MJ shut the door right in their face. It wasn't just scoring, it was control. Jordan slowed the game down when he wanted, sped it up when he felt like it, and made every play that mattered. The Bulls went on a massive run, completely flipping the game. By the time the buzzer sounded, Chicago had won, and they were back-to-back champions. Jordan finished the series averaging over 35 points per game, making it clear who the best player in the world was. Clyde Drexler played well, but this was never close. After that night, all the Jordan versus Drexler talk disappeared. There was no rivalry left, just respect. Jordan didn't just win another ring, he ended the debate for good. The crown was his and nobody dared to question it again. Aftermath, respect, reality, and legacy. Let's be honest, Clyde Drexler was no joke. The man was an amazing player, one of the best guards of his era. He could score, he could fly, and he led his team with heart. Later on, he even won a championship with the Houston Rockets and earned his place in the Hall of Fame. But in 1992, he ran into the wrong opponent at the absolute worst time, Michael Jordan at his peak. For Jordan, that finals wasn't just another trophy to collect. It was personal. It was about pride, legacy, and proving a point. He respected Drexler, sure, but he hated being compared to anyone. That fire, that obsession with being the best, is what made Jordan different from everyone else. He didn't want to share the spotlight. He wanted to own it completely. People who played with him said that during those finals, Jordan was more focused and intense than ever. Every game, every play, every moment, he was on a mission. And by the end of that series, his message was clear. There's greatness, and then there's Michael Jordan. After that, nobody ever questioned it again. Jordan wasn't just the standard. He was basketball. Conclusion. At the end of the day, that 1992 finals wasn't just about who could score more points. It was about mindset. Michael Jordan showed the world that true greatness isn't only about skill or talent. It's about drive, pride, and obsession. When people said someone might be on his level, he didn't waste time talking. He just went out there and proved it. And that's what made Jordan different. He didn't just beat his opponents, he made them realize how far behind they really were. That's why when people today ask, why is Jordan still called the GOAT? This series is one of the answers. He didn't just win, he dominated, mentally and physically. So the 1992 finals gave us a lesson that still stands today. There's greatness, and then there's Michael Jordan. If you enjoyed this story and want more legendary moments like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to GOAT Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story from basketball history's greatest era. Thanks for watching. And remember, Greatness doesn't talk. It shows.